Okay. Hello, everyone. So, thank you, Amanda, for such a great introduction. I am just like shy about such great words. I am here to tell a little bit more about like some tips and tricks, let's say, but I will try to help you to understand like my experience and what I can recommend you from my experience. Yes. Um, I'm just can start from disclaimer that each professional and life story is like unique. Yes, and with this presentation, I don't want like to diminish anyone's career paths or choices, because it's like sometimes like people has very different choices throughout their career, and it is great, it's their choices and their career path. I will be like more driven from my experience and from what I tried, what worked for me, and like for not only for me but also for some of my colleagues, and that's why I can like propose you such recommendations. Okay, I will just start from my short mouth story. That's why I didn't like introduce again myself, but I will just give you some like line of my life to understand better how I came to ME, actually, to MEL. So I'm 33 years old, so I am like not just graduate from university. I'm quite youth, but quite like more grown up. In Lviv, in Western Ukraine. So it is kind of, Ukraine is like developing country, but it's like in Eastern Europe. So it's also have some like context, which I will come back to that. I was really active during some school activities, and I tried a lot of things. And I will also come back to that, why it's like actually important. I tried to go to like some touristic like communities. Then I was active in scout movements. In 15, I first time worked as an interviewer. It was like exit polls. After that age, I worked exit polls maybe, I don't know, 10 more times, and had like a lot of more experience as an interviewer. But I was still studying at school and try actually to work as interviewer to understand if it's good for me, if I can do that, if I am like shy or not shy to do that, if I can go out of my comfort zone, actually to speak with people, to ask questions. And it was very embarrassing experience, honestly, but it gave me a lot. And after that, I actually decided that I will go to study sociology, and I have very pretty like straightforward education path. I have a bachelor, master, and PhD in sociology. I studied bachelor and master in Lviv, in my home city, and then I moved to capital city, Kyiv. And it's like, nothing like very special, let's say, but during what I've tried to do, actually, during my bachelor and master degree, I tried to work as much as possible. Partly it's because I really needed money, partly because it's also a great chance to have experience and practice experience. I don't know how it's like in your university, but in my universities, all like, knowledge, all information is so theoretical. You just hear that you need to do like that, like that, like that. The theory is saying like that, but in practice you don't have like much like this time how you can actually try that, how you can, if it's working or not, if it's like interesting, it's working in, for example, in US, but it's not working in Ukraine, or anything, you cannot, like, you did just try that. That's why I try to like to work many projects. I work as interviewer. I conducted like more thousands of survey interviews, and also like more than 150 in-depth interviews. I also work as a transcriber. It's kind of a funny word, but many like senior like sociologists or researchers, they were doing like different like in-depth interviews. Sometimes it was like a big projects, like with one person, it was like long interviews for several days of interviews. And I worked as transcriber, just like putting everything in paper, not on paper, but by computer. But and what it gave me understanding how people actually asking questions, how people answering on those questions, what is like ethically to do, what is not, how it's like, like to try that, just not only like to read in books and manuals, but actually to be like involved. Even if I had very like small position, it was, it kind of technical support. It's nothing like very special. But after that, like when I was slightly like at the end, I think for my bachelor degree, I started working more on coordination of field work and organize different types of survey on on scale of city and also region. And also it was like different surveys. It's not only like some like political or some social sphere, but also marketing. That is like slightly, if you study sociology, it is always slightly easier to start working in marketing because you have a lot of demands there. And but I also think that it's like good idea to start to try different survey types, different like focus groups or interviews, like even in marketing. It also gave me a lot of experience, and also worked a lot on technical support of different databases and working with SPSS and like a lot of like such technical more work. Then I came like more seriously to understanding what I want and what I don't want. And during my PhD, I started working actually in the National Charity Foundation as assistant at the Analysis Monitoring and Evaluation Department. So it's like first my formal M&E job. And from that actually job, we started, we were like 4 of us working in the department, and it's like 4 of these people were founding member of Ukrainian Evaluation Association. So it was actually a good start, my career in M&E and also Ukrainian Evaluation Association as WOPA, yes. Then I like went to Poland and had very good experience on FDS survey and kind of a lot of other evaluations and some studies. Sorry for such long introduction, but I just thought that it will be easier to like to ask me a question if you really know my background, and maybe something will be also like interesting for you. So after like PhD, so it's like now it's 6 years, I used to like to live in 6 countries: Ukraine, Poland, Belgium, Italy, Turkey, and Moldova. So it also gave me a different like experience. And also I had 18 months full-time job after my PhD. What it was like UNV, and also 10 months of full-time consultant as small officer in UNFPA ICARO in Istanbul. Also, I had like 17. Today I counted actually in the morning how many agreements I have from my like after my PhD studies. It was like 17 contracts as freelancer. I worked with UNFPA, UNICEF, Caritas, Save the Children, USAID, FINEP, and different types of, also World Bank, I miss them, and grassroots initiatives. 7 evaluations conducted by myself, 3 theory of change and strategical documents, and different kind of M&E technical support. And also through the time, I spent quite a lot of time for volunteering for capacity building in evaluation. I was a board member of Ukrainian Evaluation Association, like also very first volunteer in EvalYouth from 2015, founder of EvalYouth Asia, board member of Eurasian Alliance, current member of IBDAT advisory board. So it's like a long way of understanding what is actually M&E profession is, who are there, because it's not only I was involved in all those volunteering initiatives because I want to do something for somebody. It's true, I really want to help like young and emerging evaluators, or in general to to support evaluation development in Ukraine and the region. But also I wanted to understand who are those evaluators who are successful or not, and it's kind of really great experience if you can if you can join that. Yeah. Okay. In 2016, it's also important. I born a baby, so it also gave me some other experience, and maybe some career choices. It also was slightly like dependent on my my life choices, And what next? I don't know. Let's see how it will be next and what my career and life will look like. But it was like a short things. And based on all that experience, as you understand, I have more experience as freelance consultant. It basically partly it's because I was like moving from country to country because of some studies or because of some like fellowships, because of my, for example, husband moved to another country and I also moved. And it was slightly easier to be a freelance consultant than like to work in full-time job. Then I born baby, it also was easier to have a balance like between life and work as you are freelance consultant rather than you have like full-time job, because as I understand later, some jobs just incompatible with like work-life balance and children. Okay, 11 tips from me. First one is like explore and try before dream and invest. I've many times like met people who think, oh, I want to like to be in New York in like main office HQ of like one of UN agencies. It's my dream. I want to work there. La 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 la. I said, wow, you have such like concrete dream. It's good. You know how to move to that. But at the same time, when person is actually landed there and like start working, it's not so like satisfactory for him or her. And as for me, I think it is like good to try like in internship or fellowship or any kind of short work to see what is actually inside and how people who are like working there, what they are doing, how they build their lives, not only like professional lives, but like like real lives, how they like live there, if they like sacrificing a lot of their life and family because of their career choices or not. Are you ready to do that or not? It's also a question, and it's like important things. And I think that like success in a many profession is kind of very like different things for different people. Maybe like, okay. And next will be like less reflections but more concrete things. Formal education is not enough for many, but from my experience, it is really beneficial to have like as high a degree as possible. Yes. In my case, I have like PhD in sociology. I cannot say that it's like it's oh, you have PhD in sociology. It's like everything, But many times when it was about like if to take me or another person, okay, I have like those like 2 or 3 points more because I have just PhD. It took me a lot to to graduate from PhD and to defend my dissertation, and it's like a lot of story. It's like a lot of efforts, but still I'm really glad that I've done that. And if you have a possibility, like I still think that it's like worth to do. I know that many people say that, oh no, formal education is not like good for M&E, but it's a current like I don't know M&E market. It's still beneficial to have it. But of course, you need like more additional education. It's good if you're starting to have your career. It's like different workshops, SIPDAT, free online courses, Coursera, other platforms. If you actually learning something like more specific, Maybe you're not including that in your CV, but still it's like good to have that. Local languages matter. What I mean here, if you want like to start, it's always easier to start M&E job from like local positions. And what you have like, and what you have like your plus in comparison of international super seasoned evaluator, you know some local language, you know local context and local language, and you can really build on that. In my case, I have a good experience with languages, and since I know like Ukrainian, I know Russian. Well, when I went to Poland, I knew like Polish language well, and even in my interview, it was like a lot of people from Ukraine wanted to have that fellowship on the survey, RGS survey conducting, but it was like around 50, candidates. And then at the end they asked, oh, you know Polish, and we started speaking Polish, and it was like the main decisions why they had me, because I was like, I knew that language, I knew the context, and I tried as my best to have that job because of my that particular experience. Yes, I should admit that like English is a must. You still need to know English, and it's pretty easier maybe for person who's like English is like native language, but at the same time he or she doesn't have like that advantage of knowing some local language. And sometimes this can be something very small local, you know. In Moldova, we have such experiences that people know some Gagauzian. It's like very small, region of Moldova. But if person is knowing that language, it's like, you know, a good plus to have some M&E jobs there, jobs or assignments, as I said, in more freelancer. Okay. Get experience, formal, informal, paid, unpaid. As you've seen from my life and work path, I had like a lot of experience, different ones. Yeah, so be interviewer, transcriber, assistant, start from small evaluation. Also, it's like important not only to be a technical staff, but just try to be evaluator, even in small scale. For example, in my experience, I had like I've conducted myself the whole evaluation for NGO, and it was like paid, but very small like rate was there, but it was so much like experience for me that I've learned a lot. And even you can like propose to WOPA, can I conduct like, evaluation of your like, I don't know, training course or the serial webinar or something like that. And you already have that experience, which you can build on for your CV, for your like interview and other things. And another, it's exactly that build on your experience, skills and experience. What I mean here, for example, in my life, I had like a lot of experience working in different like survey conducting and statistical, sociological work. So I always like thinking that it's like this one is like my plus, yes. But also my scout experience, how I use that very often. I know that, for example, approximately like 2 years ago, my colleague in UNFPA asked me, do you know, like I'm struggling to build a facilitation path for some leadership meeting. Can you help me? And I was, oh, yes, why not? I can like help, but it should be something very innovative and, you know, and something very new. And I'm okay, I will try. She was like senior one and she didn't give me a lot of time. She said, okay, I am going for lunch. I will come back in 1 hour. Please write me like several exercises. Oh my God, okay. I have 1 hour. And what I remembered, I used to be like active scout, and I put a lot of exercises from scout organizations there, and a lot of like funny like children's games, but put like some M&E meanings there, not only M&E but more like strategic planning things. Yeah, And it worked really well because it was new. Nobody like tried that before. It was not like decision trees or something, you know, but it was kind of interesting things. And this gave me understanding that the whole, like, what are you doing throughout your life? You need to keep that in mind, you know, you need like to build on that. For example, I also, with this Scout organization, I work a lot with children and teenagers. Currently, I am like doing evaluation for where like participants are teenagers. And I am conducting focus group with teenagers because I have that like experience. I know how to speak with them. I know how to build like a trust with them. So please like build on that. Okay. I just want to ask you, can you write me like several things which you think you have like unique experience? Yes, let's try it like in real time to think how you may build that, how you might build on your unique experience. Maybe it's a little bit okay. Who want to start? I don't see anyone. So it can be something very, you know, it can be, okay, active volunteerism in EvalYouth and WOBES. Yes, so it's like very, very a good experience, and you can put this in your CV. You can like write that you coordinated 24 webinar with SLEvA, and you manage a team of I don't know, of 10 people, and you know, it's a good idea. Okay, you're quite shy, but if you will have any other ideas, you can write down and we can turn back when I just finished. So because, you know, sometimes people thinking, oh, I never been an evaluator, I never been in sociology, I never been in like, I know, in public like house or something. I don't know what I can build on, but I've met people who worked in shelters with like dogs and cats, and then they like actually worked a lot, you know, on evaluation of such type of programs and projects. So you know, it's everything is like matters. Okay, I think I am quite okay. Another thing, I will be faster. I think use opportunities to write articles, blogs, even record podcasts in English. Sometimes if you are like not native English speaker, always like in CV or like during your preparation for interviews, people ask you, please send me writing examples in English. And if you didn't work in any like international organizations, or you didn't write like reports or in English, or you know, you wrote the reports in English, but you cannot share them, it's also true, it's all can be like that. You can use this opportunity actually to share your article. We used to write a lot of articles with EvalYouth volunteers in our management group or in the region. You know, we tried to write on that, and some blog posts. And it is a great opportunity actually to have those written examples. So don't miss that opportunity. Okay, now if you have all qualifications, you're ready to find the job of your dream. Where can you find actually those jobs? Monitor local NGO state portal. It's not something new, but you know, I just need like to say maybe something will be new. I don't know. Different listservs, Pellegrin community, IPDAT, WOPES news, EvalYouth news, anything what you can like sign for like any kind of newsletters. You can like look through formal job portals of big organizations. I put several ones, but you can like on UNV, Inspira, UNDP, UNFPA, not only like of the global ones, but also of local ones, on particular like national country offices, aggregators of job offers, different types, social media networks. And when I say like monitor those resources, what I mean, just like regularly look through them. I mean, and sometimes when I'm looking for jobs, or for assignment, I'm just put like reminders in my calendar each Monday to look on, like, I don't know, on UNDP website, not UNDP, but other, for example, InfoBA website for any new ones, you know, or like to check Inspira or to check DevX, you know, whatever. But just if you know that you will not have work in 2 months, or you need new assignments until the end of the year, you can like boost, you know, your like monitoring regular like things. Yes, and also if you see that something is interesting, you need to put deadlines also in your calendar, because sometimes people think, oh, it's so nice, and then forgetting and saying, oh, it's a lot of time to prepare for that job offer, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like the deadline is passed, or it's like you are about 2 hours before deadline, you're putting everything what you have or whatever you have, sending, and that's it. And it's like this, and not enough to have that assignment. Yeah. Use conferences, meeting, trainings, and also opportunity to build your network. And a lot of job offers coming from network. Here is a photo of European Evaluation Society conference in 2016, and this is my 4 months daughter. I went with daughter to that conference because I really wanted to have to try to speak there and to have an opportunity. It was a lot of challenges. As you understand, it was not ideal time, and but I tried my best there. Not only go to conferences, workshops, and of course now it's COVID, you will be hearing in Zoom, but if it will be reopening of conferences, it's still more beneficial to have face-to-face ones. Present not only on EE sessions. Also, I've met people who in different conference, they are in the bubble of young and emerging evaluators. They going all together. They having lunch together, dinner together, going out. It's super nice. It's super nice in giving you super safe space. But at the same time, if you want to know who are those M&E experts, what are they thinking about? What is their life? It is really important to see them, to speak with them. Prepare a list of questions. What do you want to ask to each panel or to each panelist, even, you know, and keep notes throughout the event. And keep list of with whom do you want to speak. For example, I used to prepare a lot to conferences. I had this list, at least of 10 people to whom I need to go and say, hi, my name is Antonina, I'm working. I'm wondering, what do you think about that? I read about some your research, you know. I think sometimes people think, oh, it's so superficial. Maybe, yes. But at the same time, if you're not prepared well, you will just not go to that person. I remember how I went in 2017, I just started EvalYouth Asia chapter, and I went to Marco Sigona and, you know, and say, hi, I was super shy and saying, hi, Marco, I am Antonina. And he was super excited to see me. And, you know, it was a great experience. He gave me many recommendations how I can actually boost this capacity building initiatives in our regions. And it was super nice experience. Sometimes it's not such experience, it depends on person, but still it's going out of your comfort zone. And also keep notes with whom you spoke, with what did you heard good, what is innovative or buzzwords, you know, it's really important because you will use that later. Write follow-up immediately after the event, not wait 1 month later or after one conference. I wanted to run summer school in our region. And I wrote I don't know, maybe 40 letters, emails to different people from a conference that I was looking for some money for summer school for EvalYouth in region. Yes, I received many things. No, we don't have money even, but still people knew that I am leading that initiative. And after some years later, people turned back to me and asking me, you know. Okay, I will just rework on your CV. What I mean, look at your CV and think that if you have like that, those keywords, you know, like monitoring, evaluation, like evidence, I don't know, some see what languages you can put there, achievements, put achievements, no descriptions, what you're doing, yes. So how many like interviews conducted, how many, I don't know, team, you know, how many people you coordinated with how many teams, something like that. For recent graduates, it put like your experience, your practice, you know, some. I still don't know what to do, for example, with gaps in CV. I have some gaps like in when I had like maternity leave or something. I am not sure. And should I include everything in CV? I have, I'm not included everything because I used to work a lot of in like marketing and some other experience, but still, you know, it's question. LinkedIn portfolio, keep updated as possible. Recently, I had like 2 job assignments from LinkedIn. This was funny experience, but it was, so maybe it's also working. Cover letter, I'm kind to the back. Like, okay, cover letter is like prepare different cover letter for different job positions, not just prepare one as you are a perfect person and send to every position. It's not working at all. Discover requirements. And what actually I'm doing, I'm just copying requirements and putting in my cover letter, and each position in the requirements, I'm writing why I am suited to that, why I am so good for that, like particular positions. And it's like inspiring quite like concrete things. Underline your pluses, but also think if you don't have something, some experience in some, I don't know, sphere, you can write how you can overcome that. Yes, how you can learn more, how you are like open to. Okay. And the last one, prepare to the interview. It's very obvious one, but read about organization. Google people who will be in your panel. It's also important. You know how to pronounce their names, or you know what like positions they have. Prepare your success stories. Write down what did you like do while like about this coordination of team, or how did you overcome challenges. It's like a lot of things you can read. I just put examples. And before the end, I just want to say you to show this Thorstein learning curve, that you know in M&E, as it's like as it is like very creative and analytic work. It's kind of first it is kind of difficult. You have this slow beginning, then it's like a steep progress. You're very happy, you have a lot of new opportunities, and you're doing a lot of great work. Then you have this plateau of learning plateau, and to moving on the next level, you need to have like some understanding where do you want to go, like your like very concrete goal. Then focus, you need to receive feedback, and going out of comfort zone, which is also really important. So my like last point is try to not to do the same work long. Like, you know, you are working as assistant in the same organization, doing same things for eight years. Yeah, I think it is not really beneficial for your development. You know, even if you have that position for a long time, but you're doing another things, and you still have a room for the for development of your own skills and knowledge, it's good. If not, like try to move on. So try to learn something more and to move, because it's so important. Like at the beginning of your career, just not to you know, not to slow down, let's say. Yes, so you need to learn, you need to develop, and it's also easier, I think, when you're younger to go out from your comfort zone. It just as I think that people are who are working like 10-15 years the same job position, even small job position, it's so difficult for them like to go out from comfort zone. So yeah, this is like this. Oops. Okay, thank you.
That was really great. Thank you so much, Antonina, for sharing your story and for drawing out the really useful tips. It's been a very helpful presentation. We have had a couple of questions in the chat and comments. So Hussein asked about taking notes, organising and internalising knowledge gained. Have you got any comment on that?
So taking notes from conferences, or what do you mean? Again, sorry, I was. Which notes? From what notes? In general, I think that you need like to take notes from everything. And personally, I used from work like, okay, yes, I have even like folders in my computer, each folder for each like job assignment. I put everything together, and for that I have document like notes, my ideas, my ideas, my thinking, what was not good, what not bad. And sometimes I'm just putting my reflection on that particular assignment. Yes, I'm not sharing with anyone there, but it's like that. But it's good to have, actually. It's good that you're like, you reflect on that. You reflect on, even after this webinar, if you will sit and write down something, you learn, I don't know, 2 tips or 1 tip or 1 small thing, but something is really important for you to keep with you. If not, you will just forget, and it will be another spent hour.
Thank you. I guess that's particularly important at the moment with the number of online webinars and things available. So very good advice. Thank you. The other comment that we had in the chat, I think, was maybe in relation to your unique experiences exercise. And so Tigist said that they have been working in program, project management and capacity development. That is their unique experience.
Yeah, it's very like easy. Of course, you can build on that. It's like very directly. You see, yeah, you already, I've seen like, I look through auditory, I see that most of you already started working somewhere in like M&E. You know that you want to look for M&E jobs, and it's like, if you already have a work in capacity building of, actually, if you even like organizing events for young and emerging evaluators, and you have experience in capacity building, then you can have that experience for being evaluator for capacity building programs. Also, in my experience, I worked in 3, I think, evaluations where I work on, it was programs for empowering of youth. It was actually capacity building programs for youth. So because I had experience from EvalYouth on capacity building for young evaluators, I also transfer that experience to my future assignments. Okay, I can even write, what is ideal number of years should one stay in a particular post job, then find another one? This is the case, it's not like you need to have like 3 years. How it's like love is for 3 years or something. We had like a book. No, it's not like that. You have this curve. When you're still learning something new, it's good to stay there. It's if you each year you have something new, or you're still like developing not only like professional skills, but if you're trying to facilitate, you're trying another things, it is good. It is like you're working on your professional development in that particular positions, and you can stay long in same organization. It's totally fine. But if you feel that you are working on same assignments, like all the time same, it's time, to think maybe you can move on and like to work on something else, to change sphere or to add complexity, or before you can speak with your supervisor on that, maybe he or she can like suggest you something. If not, you can like apply for another positions. Oh, okay. What should I read, or you read? Or you choose?
If you are happy to read, then go for it, please.
Okay. What are the biggest challenges you have faced in your M&E experience? I was like I had a great dream. I wanted like to go a lot on different field experience, different countries, and and it was really nice to think about that, like when you have like 17 or 16 and then I've met people who actually have broken families. They have, and I understand, oh my God, no, I can't be like that. So it should be, I think the biggest challenge in M&E work is to have a balance of your work and life. Because many people often like going far for like their field experience work and it depends, but I've met a lot of people who like didn't see their families for a long time, and I think it is like the big challenge, and I still don't know how would I ideally want to build like my M&E work. I'm still like working in the region. I'm going not far. I'm going like for 5 or for like maximum 2 weeks, for 5 days or for 2 weeks, not longer. I used to have to bring my daughter to all like field works and to all conferences. It was also like my thinking, like to be closer to family. What other role expansion you see in M&E job in coming years? Okay, and what should your book recommendations that help you along your career? Book recommendations. So yes, book recommendation. Let's see. So of course there are a lot of books in evaluation which can you need like to learn, and even I've also putting notes which one I want to learn. And I have a document in my desktop and I'm just putting, okay, next like Python book, it was just published. I need to learn I need to find it, and then I need like to read that and other things. So it's good to keep your book lists, and especially like for evaluation, but some particular things, I don't know. I really like where there are like a lot of like practical exercises for facilitation. I think like people are now more moving. It's coming to another questions on where like evaluation is moving. I think like to more participatory way of doing evaluations, and it's actually a great art how to keep all of people meaningfully participated in that evaluation. And it's when you have a great like tools to do that, it is like a highway. It's like your 50% of success if you actually know that game, or you know how to like build that facilitation path. Okay, from Malika, how did you manage to balance the time from personal demands versus job demands? Yes, good question. Especially like for young women, it's a great challenge. Honestly, we're talking about gender equality, but still it's a big challenge. Even when I start working in Istanbul in the regional office of UNFPA, and it is like very much devoted organization for women equality, for for bringing like young mothers. And then I understand that it was like 60 people. I was only one young mother. So it was okay, a lot of seniors people like with children somewhere in another part of the world, but I was actually with 3 years old child there, and I had like my demands of that, and it's difficult. And I think still we are not like talking a lot what we need as like young mothers and young women. Many times we think that it's that bad period for professional development, but I don't think so. So it's also a good to have support of like people around. And in all my conferences I had a great support from people around who were able like to stay with my child or something. Yeah. Amanda, I don't know, maybe I missed something because it was like rolling
No,
fast.
no, I think you got them all. You were very, very quick on it. There is a lot of feedback about how good your presentation was and how thorough it was. So I think that is why we don't have many questions. I do have a question of my own, if that's okay. You mentioned that you have worked both within organisations and as a freelance consultant. What do you think were the biggest differences? You mentioned the level of flexibility, but is there anything else?
Yes, lack of flexibility, and I don't know. I feel that like when I am freelancer, I can build more my plan of work. Sometimes it's also like crowded a lot of tasks at the same time, but still I can like if I want, for example, to go to some course for learning, I can plan that. In my experience, when I worked in like a full-time job, it's really difficult to do that. You have very limited leave, your annual leave. For example, in my experience, I used all my annual leave for IBDAT because it was not allowed like and all my annual leave meant for that I wanted to go to IBDAT. And it is a challenge, and then I couldn't go for another conferences because I just didn't have like time. I didn't have days. You don't have days. But if you're a freelancer, it's slightly easier. It's also you have like demands. Sometimes you need to be on field work on that time and other. But still you are more a ruler. Controller of your like time and efforts.
That's great, thank you. It's really interesting to hear from you with the comparison there. Hussein, I see that you have your hand raised. Would you like to unmute and say something?
Yes, please. First, I'd like to thank you for a brilliant job putting this together. And I'm so glad I rushed to make sure that I could hear Antonina speak. In all my years of being an evaluator and now a senior evaluator, 42 years down the line, listening to her has been the most refreshing experience in the last 5-10 years. Oh. And all those youngsters on this panel right now, listening to this seminar, you couldn't have got better advice. So I fully congratulate you, Antonina. I would absolutely love to adopt you as a daughter, but you just made my day. So all of you, listen to what she said, take her advice, and you will succeed, believe me. On the notes, I would like to just add internalizing for yourself, reflecting on a Sunday, going through your notes helps you really organize your learning and search for that forward line that Antonina has been speaking about, okay? So 6, 8, 10 years is nothing when you want to have a career. The one question I think that you didn't address is there a future? Do you see an expansion in M&E? Yes, of course, as life goes on, like the environment and medicine, evaluators will be forever. So don't give up on this. It's something that didn't happen when we were youngsters and we had to really argue. All these lovely platforms now are not available. So cache it, use it, and find Antonina and track every move she makes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for such nice compliment. Yes, thank you for adding that.
Yes, very nice. And I also just wanted to mention on that point about the expansion of M&E that you did also mention you see a move towards participatory approaches is where it will be expanding. So that's an interesting thought there. I think that we might end the Q&A there as we are rapidly coming to the end of our session, unfortunately. It has been a really great session and I personally have learned a lot and I'm sure the other participants have. So thank you again, Antonina. I will pass, whoops. Let me get to the right slide. Here we go. I will pass now to Madhuka for the closing remarks. Madhuka is the co-leader and co-founder of EvalYouth Sri Lanka, and she's also a core team member of Asia Pacific Communication Hub. So Madhuka, over to you.
Thank you, Amanda. So we have come to the end of 24th SLEvA webinar, and as mentioned by Erika, we wanted to conduct this webinar for YEs as a part of peer-to-peer project granted by EVAL partners to PILDEV and APIA, EvalYouth Asia, EvalYouth Sri Lanka, and Asia Pacific Evaluation Communication Hub. So first of all, on behalf of project team, I would like to thank SLEvA for giving us their platform and their space to conduct this webinar. And then on behalf of all the organizations which supported to this webinar, I would like to thank Antonina Rishko-Porcesu for accepting our invitation and for this very informative and insightful presentation today. Personally, as a YE, what you shared today is very useful for me, and I believe same with others. So thank you once again, Antonina. And then I would like to thank Amanda Mottershead for being an excellent moderator today, and Ana Erika Lareza for welcoming remarks today. And then I would like to thank to the team behind scene, including Nasela Kalagampitiya, President Sri Lanka Evaluation Association, and Randika Dimel, Erika Lareza, and Aluset, Chamatkara, and Hasipi. And last and not the least, dear participants, thank you so much for your active participation today. And we are very happy to inform you that we will launch our website for YE next month, and you will get more details in coming days. And thank you once again. Have a good day. Over to you, Amanda.
Thank you very much, Madhuka, for that very concise summary of this webinar. As you mentioned, it has been great and has been very informative. And I think this is echoed by a lot of the participants in the chat. So thank you once again to Antonina. Thank you to Erika for the opening remarks and to Madhuka for the summary. I would just like to finish by pointing you to the next SLEvA webinar, which is on the launch of the M&E Career Resource Hub for YEs. So very much a related topic and another exciting development. And that will be on the 16th of December on the Thursday. And we look forward to seeing you all there. And just in closing, I would like to say thank you very much to all of the participants for joining and for listening and for engaging. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.